So, I wanted to open 1,000,000 Pokemon cards. Unfortunately, the coolest old packs are all insanely expensive. This means to get 1,000,000 cards with 36 packs per box, 11 cards per pack, at $7,000 per box, it was going to cost me around $17 million. So, I had another idea. Let's make other people do it for me. Kind of. And boy did it go wrong. I run a website called BlueKit. It's an educational review game that's used by a lot of students and teachers. I bring this up because we also have a BlueKit Discord server where students can play games, talk, and spam my name. Anyway, the server has over 70,000 users, many of which didn't have anything to do this summer. So you see where I'm going with this. My plan was to make a site that would allow my server to open virtual Pokemon card packs. I went ahead and purchased a domain name. Yep, PokemonAreCool.com. Not the best, but it does look pretty good as an acronym and a logo. Now for the fun part. We need to know that there are about 100 Pokemon card expansion sets. To keep my site manageable, I decided to narrow it down and focus on 11 of the earliest, from the base set to the expedition base set. This would leave me with 1,105 cards, each of which I had to transfer over to my database with some basic info. Now I'm not actually sure how Pokemon card packs are assembled, so I created my own version for the site. Most packs have 11 cards, and on my site the first 8 are random common and uncommon Pokemon, then a random trainer, then a random energy, and then a rare card. If an expansion set didn't have trainers or energies, I just replaced them with more commons and uncommons. These cards all had an equal drop rate, but the rare cards had specific drop rates I created. This way I could make some cards more rare than others. On BlueKit there are mystery boxes that students can open using the tokens they earn for answering questions to unlock new avatars, which we call Blukes. Some of these Blukes are extremely rare, with Blukes like the Megabot having a 0.3% drop rate. For most users, this is very difficult to get, as they let us know in emails. But I decided to make pack a bit more difficult. Like, way more difficult. With this, I went ahead and added drop rates for all the rares in each expansion. Then for the styling. After a few iterations, I got it looking pretty decent. It was fun to open them. Okay. Now, I didn't record the process of creating the site, but here's the result. First, I made the profile so you could easily view all the cards you owned, how many, and some other stats. Styling the site wasn't too difficult, as I was mainly just borrowing from Pokemon's designs. For the store, I also tried to make pack opening as simple as possible so someone could easily just spam click to open packs, and I added a bit more styling. The only problem I ran into here was that packs had to cost money, and while Pokédollars was the obvious choice of currency, I didn't know how users were going to earn money. Luckily, the Pokemon universe has over 60 berries, and Bulbapedia conveniently arranges their 4 growing animations, so I just gave them some prices and growing times, and used this to make Farming Simulator 2021 Pokemon Edition. This meant that users could plant berry seeds, and then after a set amount of time, harvest these grown berries to earn Pokédollars. The next thing to add was a bazaar. It's basically just a marketplace where you could buy and sell cards with other users. That way you could buy cards that you didn't want to open packs for. Finally, I just needed to create the leaderboard. I made it so the top 3 people got to show off their favorite card, and again, we just stick with the Pokemon trainer card style, and we're good to go. I then quickly threw together a homepage for the site, and after a couple of days of development, the site was ready for launch. On August 3rd at 1 p.m., the site officially launched. That wasn't until about 5 minutes in when I noticed that I had made it so I was the only one who could create an account. The Discord was upset. But, after a quick fix and new deployment, the site was back live 10 minutes later, and the leaderboard started to grow. The bazaar was filling up too, so I knew it was time for me to start grinding. I began quickly opening cards and farming berries, but I certainly couldn't keep up, because we had a winner within 4 hours. Wait, or did we? If we take a look at that image, the winner has 1,109 of the possible 1,105 cards. I also knew it wasn't realistically possible to open enough cards within 4 hours to win. I was right. There's a bug in the code that miscounted the cards, so I fixed that, sent out the new deployment, and now our leaderboard was looking more realistic. Still, 954 cards in 4 hours is impressive, especially with me only at 586. But I didn't give up. I kept opening lots of packs, buying cards from the bazaar, and farming lots and lots and lots of berries. However, I still wasn't close to the top, because at the end of day 1 the leader was at 1,077 unique cards, only 28 away from winning. Now, I was expecting this to some extent. As we mentioned, getting most of the cards was easy. It was some of the rares that were going to be more difficult. In fact, I predicted that it would be so hard that people would just give up before collecting them all. I mean, you would have to open hundreds of thousands of packs to get them all yourself. And like some others, I pretty much gave up after day 1. However, people didn't give up, and when I woke up the next morning, the leader had earned another 12 cards, and yet he still didn't have a big lead. Even to get in the top 50, you needed 1,032 cards, after less than 24 hours. Now the real grind had started, and it was not fun. I even got a message from a kid named Yoshin saying, "Ben, ever since the event started, I have done nothing but play it. I had a max 4 hours of sleep today and have played it straight for 25 plus hours. I at one point started hallucinating." I actually started to feel kind of bad, not only for making people grind, but also because users like Yoshin never even stood a chance. If we looked at the leaderboard from earlier, Yoshin was in 6th with 14 less cards than the leader, Painbow. However, let's take a live look at how their stats were changing, particularly the number of packs they opened. We can see here that Yoshin's number goes up by 1 or 2 every refresh, as expected. However, Painbow's is going up by way more, an amount not humanly possible. Now of course you could use an auto-clicker, but Painbow had worked around that and written a script to directly tell my server to open cards on his account. So while Yoshin was hallucinating, Painbow was sitting back, relaxing, and watching the cards roll in. Because he had been doing this for a while, I didn't even try to fix it, and just let the event play out, noticing that he could actually win if he just kept using the script. And he did. Painbow and his friend, OKR, took hold of the competition. Not only were they automatically opening packs, they also had a script to automatically farm berries, and they had found a bug in my code that let them grow more berries than there were plots of land for. This meant that while most farms were limited to 28 berries growing at a time, Painbow and OKR had a couple hundred growing at once. As a result, they had millions of Pokédollars which they used to open card shops on Discord where they could buy any card for more than everyone else, which helped them to get the cards they were getting unlucky on. Also, it allowed them to sell cards to their alt accounts in order to inflate the average sale price of cards, which is why while most trainer cards had an expectedly low average sale price, the quite common Bill's Maintenance card had an average sale price of almost 7 million Pokédollars. I would go into more details about each day of the competition, but to be honest, it got boring. After about 3 days of the site being live, both Painbow and OKR had only one card left to collect, the base set Charizard. However, they decided to hold the event hostage by not opening the base set pack, and instead trading their friends the cards they were missing. Eventually I literally just asked them to try to end the competition, and when I woke up on the 5th day, they both had it. There was a little controversy here as Painbow technically had it first, but OKR got 2 on his alt account, and neither knew they got it because they were both running scripts while they slept. So I decided to offer them a tie, which they accepted. And that was the end of pack. Our 2 winners both got the mystical Tim the Alien Bluke, and the top 10 got some rewards as well. My goal was to open 1 million Pokemon cards, and we well exceeded that, opening over 2.7 million packs, which is almost 30 million cards. We also farmed over 750,000 berries, and there were over 15,000 cards sold in the bazaar. In the end, users still had almost 150 million Pokédollars left over. However, how much of this was just our 2 winners? Well, let's look back at our buddy Yoshin. Bless him, he managed to open about 32,000 packs. A crazy effort, but OKR had about 20 times that, with almost 650,000 packs opened, and this doesn't count the 120,000 packs on just one of his alts. If we look at his main account, we can see just how many cards this is. I mean, this guy had over 20,000 Diglets. So yes, 2 people did take over the competition, but I'm still grateful for everyone who participated. For our next event, I'll make sure it's a bit more fair, so make sure you join our Discord to be part of it. I promise I won't make you guys go through that grind again. Probably. So I literally bought 1,000 cards on eBay for the worst 5 seconds of the video, and now I have no idea what to do with them.